So this is part 2 of my book review called Midnight. This morning I finished reading my book. It's called Midnight, and it's one novel. It's about 400 pages long, and it's made of 4 short stories that are like romantic stories that I've been reading all month. So I've told most of the book in part 1 of the book review. In this, I just wanted to make a part 2 because I have to finish explaining. You can hear more in my other videos, but I had to finish explaining more about the other book reviews. So anyway, I was telling you about, so I'm going to kind of get back to the book. It's called Midnight, and I was explaining book 3, and it's called Under Her Spell. So basically, this woman named Melissa is having problems because she's like, pagan, Wiccan, and she is having problems with her coworkers because she doesn't like how they are portraying pagans in what they're doing, and she can't work with a company like that. And then she's especially having a problem with a coworker named Alex, and she thinks he's an atheist, and he has a really big problem, and they're all laughing at her and everything. And then she ends up in the middle of the story. Melissa explains to Alex the difference between, white magic and black magic. And it's pretty extensive, like their conversation in the book. There's a few pages on it. And she basically explains, white magic is for doing good things. And then black magic is the very, very, very slim percentage of the Wiccan population that are doing it that can possibly put curses on people. And so he kind of understands a little bit more. And then, there's an attraction between the two of them. And they don't want to go there and everything because they have different religious views and their coworkers and stuff. But then in the middle of the book, Melissa and Alex end up having sex, and it's not just a physical thing, but it's also a connection of two souls and being completely in love and like a real absolute soulmate, on an emotional level as well. And then after Alex opens up to Melissa like that, he explains to her why he had such a problem with pagans and Wiccans, and he basically explains that his mom, her name was Jennifer, she was a pagan, and she was a really nice lady, and then his dad was like an really evil person. Like his dad was just a regular person, but his dad had like practiced black magic and was putting curses on people and everything, so that's why Alex just thought that all pagans were really evil people. So Alex tells Melissa that Alex never really knew his own dad, and when Alex was older, he ended up finding a note from his mom, Jennifer, and it just had a couple paragraphs, and she made absolutely clear in the note, do not go near this man. He is your dad, but I absolutely want you to stay as far away from him as you possibly can. And then so Alex explains that to Melissa, and then Alex explains that his dad had put a curse on his mom, Alex's mom, Jennifer, and that caused Jennifer to commit suicide by jumping off a bridge. And then Alex explains more. He explains that his dad was a millionaire, but he, when he died, like he was really lonely and he never had any friends or anything like that. And then Alex explains to Melissa that after his dad died, he ended up buying the house from her, or the house from his dad. And then I don't want to get into too many details, but there's a really bad situation. Like Alex and Melissa ended up running into some really bad people that try to kill Alex, so you're really going to have to read the book and see if Alex lives through this. Okay, so book 4 in Midnight, the 4th short story is called Wild Wolves, and it's a woman, and she is probably in her early 20s, and she's like basically in a really bad financial situation, and she lives in England, and she ends up running to this guy because there is a group of people that are in town that are kind of like a circus act, and she and the guy, like, she's never had sex or done anything like that before with a guy, and she and this guy, you know, kind of fool around and whatever, and then she starts, you know, feeling uncomfortable because they had just met like 10 minutes before, and they were like making out or something, and she's like, stop, I don't want to do this, and then she ends up kind of explaining like her bad situation, which is where her parents are deceased and she's not working right now. And then he ends up, you know, telling her, oh, well, you know, I'm kind of in the same situation. And he says that when he was a kid, his parents ended up committing suicide, and then so he explains, well, that's why he doesn't have any parents. And then she says, well, you know, I just need to get to Liverpool, England, and then she says, and then you don't ever have to see me again after that. And, you know, at this point she's not working right now, so he just tells her, okay, well, you know, if you want to be part of our crew, then you can work for us. And she says, you know, okay, I could do that. And then, you know, he ends up telling her, okay, well, you know, you can belly dance is the way that you're going to pay this off and everything. And then she doesn't, you know, because she's never had sex or anything like that. And she ends up thinking that it was too sexual. So she decides that she doesn't want to belly dance, and so she wants to leave the thing. But then he says to her, you know, because there's like, by that point, this is almost the end of the story. So he tells, you know, he's attracted to her and she is attracted to him. So I would read the book. I suggest that you read the book if you want to figure out whether the two of them, whether she sticks around or not. Okay, thank you for listening. This is my part 2 because I finished reading the book this morning. So I did a book review, and the overall novel that I read is about 400 pages long. It's called Midnight, and this is part 2 of my book review on all of the four short stories that are in it.